Namaste, children. So, as we all know, the NMMS exam for the academic year 2021 and 2022 is here. So, this video is going to give you more information on the exam date and also how to fill the OMR sheet during exam. So, as you all know, Youth for Seva is a national-wide organization which started in 2007 and has been training students across Karnataka through virtual and offline mode. We have been conducting weekend classes, weekday classes in schools wherever possible. And this year also we have trained teachers across the state so that children can perform better in their NMMS scholarship exams. So this video is going to give you more information on the exam date. So this year, the exam is going to be on 27th of February, which is a Sunday. The exam center reporting time will be at 9:30, and the exam will start at 10 o'clock. The first exam, that is GMAT, at 10 o'clock. So 10 to 11:30, that is 90 minutes for 90 marks. And the second paper, you'll have a gap between, that is 1.5 to 2 hours gap. The second exam reporting time will be 1:30. 1:30 will have to report to the exam hall, and the exam will start at 2 o'clock, which will go until 2:30. So 2 to 3:30, that is 1.5 hour, you will have the second, that is SAT part. So after this, one of our volunteer, Dhanushji, will take you through on how to fill an OMR sheet. I know that this is the first time 8th standard children from government schools are going to appear for a competitive exam. And we all know competitive exam, this word itself brings a lot of fear in our mind. We feel that, oh, competitive exam, what can this be? So don't be fearful. Whatever you have been taught is only going to appear as questions in the exam. Look at the questions, read the questions properly, and then go ahead for the exam. So I'll hand over this to Dhanush to explain more about the OMR sheet.
Thank you. So let me share the screen. So this is a sample of OMR sheet, which will be given as part of both SAT and GMAT. So both will look in a similar way. So let us see how do we fill the OMR sheet now. So let us go by column. So first column is student name. For example, if the student name is Ram and his initial is D, so how do you fill the details? So in the first column, you will have to write the letter R. So R, A, M. So Ram, if you have an initial or a gap in your name, right? So leave a box there and then fill up the initial. So maybe initial is C. So this is how you fill the name. So corresponding to this name, you will have to fill up the corresponding letters in the given column. So first letter is R. So in the first column, you'll have to search for the letter R and shade it completely. Shade the letter R completely. So make sure that you shade it fully. Okay. So second letter is A. So let us go to the second column. So A. So so shade this letter A completely. Third letter is M. So in the column, make sure that you refer to the letter in the corresponding column. So M is in the third column. So just navigate to M in the third column and circle the letter M. Okay. Next, there is a gap. So just leave it blank. So in the column 5, there is a letter C. So you'll have to shade the letter C in column 5. So this is how you shade your name in the given OMR sheet. So once your name is done, make sure you cross check to make sure that all your details are correctly filled. Okay. So moving on to the next column, which speaks about your roll number. So roll number, when you go to your hall ticket, for example, I've considered this as a hall ticket here. You can see something called as registration number at the first row here, right? So that you'll have to fill, that is treated as a roll number, and that has to be filled here. So for example, if my roll number is 41263045. So make sure that you'll have to enter the numbers in the correct in the corresponding rows correctly. In the first row, you have in the first column, you have to circle the number 4 here. So shade it fully. In the second column, you have the number 1. So you'll have to shade the number 1. In the third column, you have the number 2. So go to the third column, shade the number 2. In the next column, you have the number 6. So just navigate to number 6 and share the corresponding number here. So next column is number 3. So just circle in number 3. So make sure that you're aligned with the numbers and the number and the one you're shading, right? They're both aligned and in the same column. Make sure that. So next column is number 0. So navigate to the last, you'll find the number 0 at the bottom. So just shade it completely. So next row, number 4. So shade the number 4. And last is number 5. So shade number 5. So this is how you shade the roll number. So make sure that you have to cross verify whether your roll number is appropriate. So so always take time to fill the OMR sheet, because once you make any mistakes, you cannot change it, revert it back. So take time and carefully fill the registration number. So next column speaks about your center code. So again, let me go to the registration hall ticket. Here you can see something called as exam center code, which is in the row 4. You can see I have highlighted here. So the number exam code happens to be 1620. So I'll fill the same in the OMR sheet. So 1620. Similarly, so 1 has to be filled in the first column. So second column is number 6. Okay. So let's fill in number 6 in the second column. Third column is number 2. So fill in number 2 in the third column. And the last column is number 0, which is in the last row. So fill number 0 in the last. So make sure that these details are appropriate. Just navigate down. You will find few more fields. Okay. Next is a category field. When you fill examination form, NMMS application form online, you'll be specifying the category, right? The same has to be filled here. If your category happens to be a general category, then make sure that you will have to circle against the GEN, general category. Okay. So only one option has to be selected among the given categories here. So there will be 5 to 6 categories given. Make sure that you select one appropriate one which belongs to you. So next is the mobile number. If being asked, make sure that you enter the mobile number correctly, whatever you specified in your NMMS online application form, and the same has to be filled here. This is a sample one, but mobile number is usually not there. So just ignoring for now. So next part, below is a signature. Okay, so below is a signature of the candidate. So navigate to the last, you'll find something as signature of the candidate. So make sure that you sign here completely within this rectangular box given. Next to that is a signature of the invigilator. So this is a signature of the teacher who will be in your classroom on the day of examination. So the last column here is the examination date, which happens to be 27th of February 2022. So make sure that you fill the details appropriately. So this, so when you enter the examination hall, you'll have to fill these details, right? So once these details are filled, make sure that you cross-verify all the details you have been filled in the examination form. So once the exam starts at 10, so 5 minutes prior to that, you'll be given a question paper just like I'm showing you now. So this is something which the question paper will look like. Okay, this is the previous year examination question paper. So make sure that you enter the register number here correctly. So before before your exam starts at 10 or 2, make sure that you fill the registration number correctly here, and then read the instructions given in the booklet. So take 2 to 5 minutes time, and make sure that you read all the instructions clearly given below. Make sure that there you have to understand that there is no negative marking in the examination. So you have to make sure that you will answer all the 90 questions given in the examination paper, right? So make sure that you will not carry any calculators, mobile phones, or any electronic gadgets in the examination hall. You'll have to carry only your black or blue ballpoint pen. So make sure that you carry two pens, one of each, and you will not be allowed to carry any other geometry box or any pencils or any other items. Okay, so once you're entered the examination hall, make sure that you utilize the complete 90 minutes duration and then hand over the paper at the end of 90 minutes duration, and come out of the examination hall. Once in between, if you come out of the examination hall, you will not be allowed to go back and write the paper back. So make sure that you will not exit the premises before the stipulated time, right? So after this, say suppose let us go to the question number 1. So in the question number 1, you will have 4 alternatives. So corresponding to this, each question you will have 4 alternatives here. You can see each question has options 1, 2, 3, and 4. So suppose for the question number 1, the option is 2. So you will have to shade the number 2 fully here. So take sufficient time, understand if it is a proper answer. So make sure that the answer is proper and fill the appropriate option. Once you have filled in the appropriate answer, you cannot change it back. So make sure that you will choose the answer wisely and properly. If you have doubt in any of the answers, leave it and you can take them at the last. So first try to answer all those questions which are easier and simpler for you. Those questions which are difficult, you'll have to take them at the last. For example, in a math paper, you'll have to work out something for these sums. So you'll have to not write any steps in between these gaps here. There is something called as rough work at the end of the question paper. So make sure to utilize that part. So there will be a single paper given at the last of question paper. So just like this rough work. So make sure that you do everything, all the rough work in this part, like maybe writing the cubes and squares of the number or writing the alphabet tables. So all those has to be done in the rough paper. Nothing has to be written in the question paper. Next to the questions, no, you should not do any tick marks or in the question paper, right? So even in the OMR sheet, nothing has to be written, only the options has to be chosen. Say suppose in the question 2 you have doubt and you're going to question number 3. So in the question number 3, if you see the option 1 is correct, make sure that you will mark the number 1 correspond to the question. So if it's option 1, first see whether the question number is 3, and for the corresponding question, you have to mark the corresponding option. By mistake, don't mark the option in question number 2. So first read the question carefully, choose the option correspondingly to the given question, right? So once you fill 90 questions, make sure that you have filled all the 90 options. And at the end, when you have like 5 minutes in time, make sure that you have filled all the 90 questions. Since there is no negative marking, make sure that you will fill all the 90 boxes or 90 options and then hand over the paper to the invigilator before you exit from the examination hall. The same happens to be even for SAT as well. The same procedure and guidelines has to be followed even for SAT examination, which happens to have from 2 to 3:30. So take sufficient time, answer all the questions correctly, make sure that you answer all the 90 questions. In case for any question you find that there is no correct options, make sure that you mark some option, because if it happens to be a grace, you'll be getting a grace mark. So make sure in both SAT and GMAT, you utilize all your 90 minutes and answer all the 90 questions, since there is no negative marking. So with this, hope you have all understood the examination pattern and how to fill the OMR sheet. So all the best for your NMMS examination. Thank you.
Thank you, Janush. Wishing you all the very best from all volunteers from Youth for Seva. There are a lot of volunteers who put a lot of effort this year to train all of you. So wishing you all the best on their behalf. Do not fear and attend your exam with full confidence. All the best, perform well. Hope all of you get scholarship this exam.